Becken, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. I've been watching The Mandalorian, along with probably the rest of geekdom. So, firstly, before we even get into Mandalorian, that they've only released it in the US and Canada, maybe, I'm not sure. It's basically saying to all the Star Wars fans around the world, please steal it from us. Please download it illegally. Which everybody freaking did. Now, me, because I'm like crazy religious, or as we say in Judaism, Meshuggah frum, same bit of education for you. I got a subscription to Disney Plus. So when I go up to the pearly gate, then I downloaded it illegally. So there, because I don't live in America. So then when I go up to the pearly gates and they go, oh, see, you've been very bad. You've stolen The Mandalorian, episode 1. I say, no. I did my best to pay for it because I paid for subscription. But you know what? Their security is so freaking tight that normally you can like get onto the logon page, I think, if you use a VPN, something that like disguises your computer or phone to make it look like it's in the US, or you can decide which region you want it to appear in. Which honestly, this thing it works fantastically well for BBC iPlayer. Hit and miss for pretty much most other things. Anyway, so with Disney Plus, I wasn't even able to get up to the sign on page to give them money. I was like, what? Fortunately, my wife was in America last week, so I got her to sign up from America. But I'm going to get a relative to go onto my account in January or December. I think it's late December, early January to cancel my subscription because get out of here. I'm not paying for it. I'm not getting anything out of it. Anyway, that is said, is Star Wars saved? Which is I'm sure everybody's like, I haven't seen many people's reviews yet, and I'm gonna imagine they're all pretty similar to mine. Star Wars is not safe. Star Wars is not safe by any way stretch of the mind. This was good. This was very good. But actually, it showed me something. It showed me what I loved about Star Wars, which I didn't really realize. Okay, firstly, they realized the world extremely well. It feels all very authentically Star Wars. Feels very authentically original trilogy Star Wars. It's set after 5 years after Jedi, and the stormtroopers in it. Their armor's all dirty, and you can see how like all this fallout from the rebellion, destroying the Empire. Did they destroy the Empire? I guess they destroyed the Empire from the resurrection of the Senate. What? The Galactic Senate? I think that's what. Yeah. So it feels like it fits in seamlessly into that, just with much better special effects, much smoother. But you know what again, watching this made me realize what I love about Star Wars. So this is all very much set in the underworld. I'm assuming this is going to be a spoiler-filled review because I'm assuming you've all seen it because we've all seen it. Listen, if you're not in the States, you're not waiting till March, April. If you're lucky in Western Europe, you've watched it already. If you're watching this video, you've watched it already. So it made me realize what I loved about Star Wars. So we had this very street level view of the Star Wars universe. Exquisitely done, just exquisitely done, and very. Although I have to tell you, I found The Force Awakens to fit pretty visually. Anyway, it felt very Star Warsy to me too. But that's before The Last Jedi, which blew up Star Wars. It retroactively blew up. So this whole thing, the Mandalorian is clearly an attempt to bring it back, bring back Star Wars, bring back fans to Star Wars. And again, but here's what I love: that you had this like very, very lived in, very gritty Star Wars world, but on top of that, you've had this incredibly romantic, magical adventure with like magical knights, and laser swords and princesses. It's insanely romantic, and then you got like Han Solo, who's like bridging the gap between the two worlds. So none of that is happening. There's none of that higher. What's the word? There's none of that higher aspirational world from Star Wars, but there is that gritty Star Wars universe. Yeah, it feels like the cutscenes from a particularly good Star Wars video game. Like, what was that Star Wars video game where you were Darth Vader's secret apprentice? I think it's probably the best video game. I can't remember. They did the sequel. It wasn't anywhere near as good, but they had a really good story about this guy being trained by Darth Vader. He was a Jedi's son or something, and then he had a love story going into it, and it really built up to a crescendo. And then you had these fantastic, like false, insane use of the Force in that video. I wish I could remember it. You know what? As I'm speaking, I'm going to Google Star Wars video games. Was video games. Let's see what happens. Fine. So while that's pulling up, oh, here we go. Force Unleashed. That's the one. The Force Unleashed. So yeah, it kind of feels like that. Obviously, they spent a lot of money on it, and it feels like they spent a lot of money on it. The story is a pretty basic introduction to the Mandalorian. It feels like it'll fit seamlessly into 2000 AD. It seems like a 2000 AD story, especially with the helmet. The overriding feeling was it would be better if it was Boba Fett than it was the Mandalorian, but fine, whatever. So it starts off, we've all seen, again, I'm sure you've seen the clip they released, he has a bar fight, and he's after a bounty or someone, and this is clearly not PG-13, the guy's cut in half by a door, and then there's all this, really, really crazily dark original trilogy, nods and winks. You got the whatever race was Salacious B. Crumb, the little lizard monkey thing that sat on the edge of Jabba the Hutt, and thing always laughing. So there's one, you're walking through a market, there's one of those guys being roasted on a spit, which is pretty bad because those things seemed intelligent to me. But they were definitely intelligent. But they must be intelligent because in a cage next to it, there was a little one looking at his friend or his cousin or his wife being roasted. That was crazy. There's lots and lots of member bearers, lots and lots of them, and they're all really good. I like the he knocks on a door and you get the little ball thing that came out. That was from Return of the Jedi at Jabba's palace. Just lots and lots. I can't even count how many were. Nick Nolte did voice an Ugnaught, and I didn't realize it was Nick Nolte till after I saw the credits. But it's all very kind of exactly as you expect it to happen until the last act. The last act they bring in was it an IG robot, IG-11, fantastically done. Again, it's clearly playing him as a robot, not a man in a suit, not motion capture, but this is a robot using its robotness, and that whole action scene was fantastic. And the only thing I think is finding kind of silly is that him not just he doesn't take off his helmet. At one point, he meets a woman Mandalorian who's a stillsmith. There's some kind of still that's really important to them. And there's something going on with her, but she also wears a helmet, and he never takes off the helmet. So, yeah, I can stretch disbelief for Judge Dredd not taking off his helmet because he's got some air coming to his chin, but it's got to be very, very uncomfortable. And in the Clone Wars, they took the helmets off all the time. It's just you take your helmet off. So, you got this woman Mandalorian who also doesn't take off her helmet, and it kind of reminded me of that. There's an episode of Rick and Morty once where they go to this Mad Maxian dystopian future. Mad Max 2 dystopian future, to be precise. And, what was it, the sister Meg? I can't remember her name. I honestly can't remember her name. She ends up dating this guy, one of the guys who are all he wears is this massive metal helmet and leather shorts or leather pants. Which is kind of fun, when you're in a high-speed chase through the desert. But when you're sitting around at home and you're still wearing your metal helmet and not taking it off, it's kind of silly. So I can't imagine them going to the bathroom wearing it, sitting by the fire, reading a book, still wearing their helmet. It seemed kind of dumb. And I wouldn't mind seeing Pedro Pascal, who I like quite a lot. So that's it. So is Star Wars safe? No. This is really enjoyable. I'm really going to enjoy it. This is a brilliant rewatchable factor. I'm totally going to go back and watch them. I probably would have watched at least 4 of them. I'm not a binge watcher. I probably would have watched at least 4 in a row last night. At least they should have really dumped 2. give it like a 90-minute opening. Um, uh, but again, it's the idea of like making it like so exclusively to the North America and Canada, that you have to illegally download it if you don't live there. It just seems like if they charge like $8.99 for a season pass, and okay, fine, you can't roll out Disney Plus over here, but you can have people download it. I would have paid it. Lots of people would have paid it. But I guess they don't really mind it being disseminated. It's like HBO. They really kind of like Game of Thrones being the most downloaded show, most pirated show ever. It gives them kudos, and I guess when they eventually do roll out, people will have a positive impression of it. But yeah, fine. Look, I guess by the time that Disney Plus finally rolls out to Israel, which I think will probably be a couple of years. They say they got a 2-year rollout. We're getting it along with Nigeria, like whatever. What Uzbekistan? They're probably getting it before us. Whatever third world country, whatever the last people who can get it, we will get it. I don't even know if I'm going to subscribe to it by then. It's. I remember when they released the Green Lantern movie, the awful one. Well, they only did one, but they released it like a month later in Israel. Normally, they do all the international releases roughly the same time, because by the time it came out here, the word came out that it was just so awful, so nobody went to see it. So yeah, again, I guess it was fun. I'm totally going to rewatch it. I'm going to enjoy rewatching it. Look gorgeous, and I really like the whole carbonite freezing section. There was a theory that the other people in carbonite were who was it? George Lucas was supposed to be one of them, and Brie Larson. I think it probably looked like her as well. Brie Larson was the second person that was in Carbonate. So yeah, is that how she's in a Star Wars movie? Who knows? Anyway, my name is Philip Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I will disagree with you or agree with you, depending on what you say. Thanks so much for listening. Have a good day.